Hey guys, how you doing? It's John from Florida Adventures coming at you once again. I'm actually doing something a little different today. I'm going on a little day hike at one of our favorite spots, and I figured I'd take you guys along with me because I have some new gear I want to test out. I got some new camera equipment that I want to fumble around with, and I figured it's a beautiful day. I just finished up my first semester of EMT school 2 days ago, and I have all this free time on my hands now, so that's what I figured I'd be up to today. So once I get to the spot where I'm going to start hiking, I'll get back to you guys. Alright, well here I am out at the Lithia Springs Nature Preserve. It's actually a pretty cool morning. It's actually been pretty warm during the day now. In mid-December, or not mid-December, but second week of December. It's actually been reaching to the 80s. Today is supposed to be predicted at 75 degrees. And it's about 8 o'clock in the morning right now. And I want to say temperature's probably about 60. So it's kind of a mild morning, which will actually be nice to start a little fire and cozy up next to. Cook myself some breakfast. Looking forward to that. This section of trail that I'm hiking today isn't really that long. It's maybe about a mile and a half. But it's just fun to come out because no one really knows about it. I've tried looking it up online and I haven't found any information about it. I actually heard about this spot from a friend that I knew back in high school. We used to come out here in primitive camp in high school, and it's kind of one of the local secrets. As you can see, we point the camera in this direction. There's actually a lot of hog activity out here. You can see that. Pretty much a lot of the trails, actually most of the trails that we hike out here have pretty good evidence of hogs. I've been fortunate enough to never have seen one, but as you can see, this is all torn up. You know, it's funny how in Florida we have really rainy summers, and in winter it kind of rains maybe once every other week or so. Just to give you guys an example, we were out here primitive camping probably about a month or two ago in the middle of summer for us, and this is actually an old dried up creek bed that I'm showing you, and I'll post a link to one of our old videos on our old channel on us actually primitive camping by this little creek. It used to be pretty full, and given it 2 months and it's completely dried up. Completely. But this is actually a really good source of water for us. There's actually another source of water down this trailhead here, heading southeast, but this is our spot that we like to primitive camp here, this little area. And it was perfect. We had this little area to primitive camp on, and then we had our little water source right here. So now we got to hike a ways down to the Alafaya River to get some water. That's it for now. Just to give you guys kind of an idea of what the Florida landscape looks like, look behind me. All these trees and stuff and the thick woods. A lot of palms. It's beautiful. I like it. Been living in Florida my whole life. And just kind of letting you guys survey the scenery a little bit. What may be ugly to some is beautiful to others. The one thing I don't like about Florida though is how it's just completely flat. You know, you don't see anything going on. It's pretty much just all mud and trees. So I've actually been out to North Carolina and camped on the Appalachian Trail for about a week, and it was beautiful. I loved actually camping with some terrain, some good scenery. Now I can really tell this trail has not been hiked in a while. Seems about every 5 feet or so, my face is going through a new spider web. Just giving you guys a good look at the the infamous Alafaya River that's in about 90% of our videos. This is actually one of our local big rivers around here. It winds for about 3 towns, and a lot of people like to go canoeing and kayaking and camping and all that good stuff on here. And one of the things I love about Florida and love about the Florida wilderness is there's actually a lot of good methods of fire tinder out here. As you can see in our other videos, there's the saw palmetto, which has like those like hair-like fibers on them. Those are good for starting fire. And what I've actually seen out here today is a lot of dried moss. It's also called old man's beard. You can see there's a chunk of it in this tree. I'm not gonna go for it because, as you can see in this tree, there's spider web on it. So who knows, that could be a brown recluse or a black widow. Those are 2 very common venomous spiders we have out here. And to be honest, I would rather be bitten by a black widow than a brown recluse. Because a black widow, if you catch it in time, you'll probably be okay. Brown recluse, if you get bit, whatever part got bit is falling off. They have that, it's a disease called necrotizing fasciitis, which actually, when they bite you, in their saliva, there's actually a chemical that just rots your skin. And no matter, there's nothing you can do to it. Like if you flush it out with water, saline, no matter what you do, it's gonna rot. So the best form of treatment for that is antibiotics over a period of time. But pretty much the skin that undergoes necrosis is gonna be gone. So just a little tip on our Florida spiders that we have out here, 2 of the dangerous ones. We also have wolf spiders and daddy longlegs and all the other spiders that are pretty much harmless. They're just kind of everywhere. And if you don't like spiders, then this is probably not your place to go. So I'm gonna gather up some of this old man's beard. I'm gonna head back to our original primitive site, and I'm gonna go ahead and start a fire and get cooking. This is actually kind of funny. As I stated earlier, about 2 months ago when we were here, we set up a primitive camp, and Adrian took it upon himself to line the edge of our camp with little spears, or he made like a little picket line out of green palmettos. And these palmettos have since turned brown. And as you can see, he sharpened the ends of each one of these sticks. There's a ton of them out here. There's these 2. There's all these sticks. So I'll show this video to Adrian. He'll get a kick out of this, to let him know that all of our stuff is still here. And actually, this is where our fire pit was, with this piece of moss, and there's still evidence of a little burned piece of log from the last time we were out here. So just goes to show you, not a lot of people come out here, and it doesn't really change that much out here, which is kind of nice. So like I said, I'll get my fire started, and I'll get back to you. We had a good rain a couple days ago that actually brought in this cold weather, so these sticks may be holding a little bit of residual moisture, so it's taking them a little time to catch, but not too bad so far. That's why you see it smoking a lot. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's doing a lot of sizzling too. One of these days I'm gonna learn the art of bow drill. I'm gonna try out some bow drill fires. As you can see, this stick right here is doing a lot of sizzling. So it just lets you know there's a lot of moisture. I guess I'll turn this into a how to improvise video, but I opened my cook kit and I had everything laid out. I was gonna make some nice ramen noodles, a nice little brunch, but I completely forgot that I refilled my alcohol bottle last night and I left it on the counter. So I opened up my pack and there was no alcohol to cook. So I said, I'll just forget it, I'll go a little while without eating. But I figured since I had this nice little fire, well, it's not really much of a fire anymore, it's a lot of smoldering coals, as you can see. But I actually put my little almond tin on my pot stand. You see that? And it's been on there for about a minute now. And let me see. The water's getting a little warm. I guess we'll see if this works. I might have to push it further in towards the hotter coals. But we'll see if it works. Alright, we're about 5 minutes in on my little trial. Alcohol stove setup minus the alcohol and coals instead. And I'm actually getting some bubbly. Bubbly. So I'm thinking about in another minute here it's gonna boil over. Which would be nice. I can have some food after all. Just like in the olden days. Alright, what we have here is just the start of a boil. And I'm actually a little impatient, so I'm going to go ahead and get this started now. I'm going to get my noodles ready, start cooking. Gourmet. Alright, so I packed up camp and I'm actually going to head down to the river right now to check out one of our old primitive spots, grab some fresh water with my filter, and hopefully try my hand at some fishing with my little pocket fishing kit. I'm heading south towards the river. This is where, let me turn you around here. This is where the trail forks here. The trail splits off. Right goes south to southeast, and left takes you east out to one of the major highways. And as you can see, some people come back here and do some mudding. So check back in with you when I get down to the river. Alright, here we are. This is where the trail pretty much dead ends right into the river. Wow. This place is a mess down here. There's a beer bottle there. Actually, I have been looking for one of these for a long time to make an alcohol stove out of. So this is actually a really good find for me. I'm gonna make one of those the jet alcohol stoves, and hopefully if it's a success, I'll make a video on it and show you guys later. But this place is trashed, man. Look at beer bottles, sweet tea bottles, Grape Aid bottle, never heard of that before, Fanta, Heineken, Four Loko, always classy, and a little fire pit. But minus all the trash and all the high schoolers coming out here and partying, this is actually a really beautiful spot. I love coming out here and camping. What we used to do is we used to go across this little river here to the other side. I don't know if you can see it, but there's like a little entrance right there. Let me see if I can zoom in. Right there. Right there. And on the other bank right there, there's actually a little spot that overlooks the river. You can't really see it, but that's where we went primitive camping first. And this is the second time we went. It was during the summer and it was almost hurricane weather, so we decided to stay on this side of the river. And Adrian set up his tent there. I set up my tent here, and we had a good time. It rained like crazy the first night, and the second day / night was actually beautiful. So well, my original plan was to come down to the river and do some fishing, but as you can see, there's a ton of trash here, and I kind of got a little upset about it, because this is actually one of my favorite spots, and if people are going to keep trashing it, someone's going to come out here eventually and find out, and they're going to block it off and not let anybody back here. So I actually cleaned up a lot, as you can see from before. There's a lot of just trash and cans all over the rocks. I got most of it. I left some of the paper stuff, like napkins and whatnot, but I had a trash bag in my pack, so I figured why not clean it up before it gets out of hand. But this is ridiculous. Just look at all that trash. You can hear it. It's all bottles and cans. That's ridiculous. So I'm gonna pack that out, and hopefully this place stays preserved. Alright, back on the trail now, and got my pack out trash with me. Take that to the nearest dumpster, throw it out, and overall I think today was a success. Definitely be doing this more often, so stay tuned. I know recently on our channel we haven't really gotten the opportunity to get out, but I've been busy finishing up school, and Adrian actually just moved into a new apartment, so he's been really busy with that. But I promise you, in the near future, in December here, we're going to be shooting a lot more videos and hopefully doing some more actual outdoor stuff instead of me doing stuff from my little workbench or desk. I know those can get kind of boring, but I got to do something to pass the time. So like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and whenever you get the opportunity, just get out. It feels good just kind of airing yourself out, letting your body breathe, enjoying nature, playing Garbage Man. And yep, thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate your views.